Good evening and welcome back to the Football Terrace. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. Get those bell notifications turned on as well. Some big transfer updates this evening for you. I want your views. I want your opinions. We're going to open up the lines for you to come on and have your say live on the Done Deal show tonight as well. But Ugarte to Manchester United, almost over the line. The pinned tweet from Fabrizio Romano, plus a big update from the Telegraph in terms of the deal coming into close. There's a big here we go for Chelsea, £30 million obligation to buy Broja to Ipswich. That deal is done with a loan to begin with. And could Chelsea Football Club be about to move for Joe Gomez? That plus we're talking Victor Gyokeres to Arsenal, as well as the Eddie Nketiah deal gets closer to coming over the line. But your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions are massively important to us. Yes, I have seen the PFA Team of the Year, and quite frankly, I don't care. I don't care. Most of the names in it deserve it. I was a bit shocked to not see Palmer in it, but there we go. I don't know what else to say to you. There we go. There we go. But look, I want to start off tonight before we take your calls, and I want to delve into start with Manchester United. We saw Jason Burt update us a few hours ago stating that PSG have offered Manchester United the chance to take Manuel Ugarte on a season-long loan with an obligation to buy. There is now growing optimism and agreement can be reached. This was instantly met by Fabrizio Romano pinning a tweet from a few days ago talking about working on a loan with an obligation to buy. Negotiations continue. Ugarte wants United, etc., etc. Typically speaking, not every time, but typically speaking, when Fabrizio pins a previous tweet, you know the deal is getting very near to its completion, which is very, very important for Manchester United. Very, very important indeed. Now, there's still about an £8 million differential on what we're willing to pay this summer and what PSG want. The loan with an obligation to buy may be the compromise here. Maybe Man United think, well, actually, we're okay to pay a little bit more if we don't start paying it until next season. It guarantees the income for PSG so they can reinvest that within their squad, and maybe everybody is a winner. From my perspective, as a Manchester United fan, the most important bit here is simply about getting the player in, improving the team. I think he's a phenomenal player. When Chelsea were linked to him last year, go back and watch the videos. I was very, very jealous. So Man United now having the chance to bring him in, I think is absolutely huge for us. The defensive prowess, his ability on the ball, his athleticism and physicality, it's going to improve our midfield massively. Plus, when you read about Napoli now looking to push the button on getting a deal for Scott McTominay, that money is going to come in as well, which helps us in this scenario. My only hope is that we add a little bit more. We know it isn't going to be Sander Berg. I don't know who it's going to be. We know it isn't going to be Zubimendi, which was linked a few weeks ago. It isn't going to be Frankie de Jong. That one seems like there's nothing there at all. But I do hope that we go and get ourselves another midfield player on top to, again, add more quality and raise that floor of technical ability as well. But overall, really, really happy indeed with this deal. Sorry, Terry, no Rashford in the PFA Team of the Year. That's not a bad bit of banter, Rahman. That's not a bad bit of banter. Is this cap? No, I've just put the stories up on the screen. So no. And I didn't force Fabrizio or Jason Burt from the newspaper The Telegraph to write these stories. I just didn't do it. It's not me. But I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on this. Ugarte to Manchester United in the home straight now. How good a signing will it be? How much will he improve Manchester United? And what else do you think United need to do between now and the end of this transfer window? Give us your thoughts and give us your feelings in the comments section below. Now, when it comes to Arsenal, there was a really good debate earlier on today on Straight Facts with Potsy and LB, talking about what else they need, where do they want to go. And for me, it simply has to be Victor Gyokeres next to Arsenal. The Moreno deal was going to happen. We know that I think the sporting director or the president, whoever he is currently in London, according to, I think that's from Gunner Blog, finalizing the minor details to get that deal done. Arsenal have got to get Eddie Nketiah out. I think they've got to get Aaron Ramsdale out purely to raise the money, because one big thing that all the big Arsenal accounts keep talking about is Arsenal looking to ensure that PSR is in the best possible place. Now, there's a lot of financial experts that say that Arsenal have no PSR problems. All I would say is this: other than Manchester United, no other club has to be as transparent as we are with our finances. And the only reason we are isn't because we're better than everybody else. It's because we're on the New York Stock Exchange. So none of us really know the true insight into what is going on. What's reported and what's really going on in a business can sometimes be a little different. So Arsenal are briefing that news, but they have to go and get Victor Gyokeres next, in my opinion. I can't think of who else is out there. Now, I'm not mentioning Ivan Toney because it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. But they need to go and get the ball playing ability, the goal scoring ability of Victor Gyokeres. The reason I say this, and it has to be next, is because we're seeing Ilkay Gundogan come back to Man City. Or it looks like Gundogan is on his way back to Manchester City. And I think it is absolutely imperative that Arsenal strengthen to be able to secure this Premier League title. It's so important for them to do it. We know how good a football team they are. We know how dangerous they are. We know how difficult they are. However, they have to go out there and do it. Ashley here says, why do you care? Why do I care? So, Ashley, that's a really weird comment. You're watching me react to this news and you're asking, why do I care? My question, I'm going to answer you fully, but I would throw a question back at you is, why do you care so much about me caring? You see how the logic works. However, why do I care? I love football. I love the Premier League. And in the summer of 2017, I had a Man United fan channel. And I decided I wanted to talk about my rival teams. And I wanted to invite others to speak about their teams and their rivals, because it was a reflection of what football was like for me growing up through school and through my adolescence. I was lucky enough to grow up in London, where in your classroom, you'd have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different teams being supported. It wasn't, I think it's different when you grow up in certain other cities around the country. Newcastle, where pretty much everyone's a Newcastle fan. Manchester, where it's pretty much 2 or 3 teams that are supported. Liverpool, it's 2 teams. Where in London, there was such a wide berth of teams. So I wanted to create a YouTube channel, and it was the first of its kind. It was the first YouTube channel there was where more than one team was being discussed. So of course I care, because I've grown an audience who I love and respect dearly. And we cover news, match reactions, and all sorts connected to those teams. So that is why I care, because I love this community that we have built. So Ashley, that is why I care. I thought I'd respect your sarky comment, really, with a dignified answer. But could you do me the honor of responding, why do you care? And you've also said, we ain't all sheep who believe you're crap. Well, I haven't made any of these stories up, Ashley. Okay. But you know what's really embarrassing? That you've decided to sit here and join us sheep. And you think you're a wolf, but you're not, because you've just been mauled, bruv. There's nothing more embarrassing than thinking you're alpha, slagging off everybody else in the comment section, calling everybody a sheep. This story is not even mine. I am just reacting to these stories with my wonderful community. But Ashley, thank you for tuning in. You legend of a man. I hope you feel better now. Let's get back to the stories. Now, Chelsea this evening. Chelsea this evening is some really interesting stories. First of all, and I think that the Here We Go will kind of get this out the way. Broja from Fabrizio Romano, he's going to Ipswich. It's a loan with an obligation to buy it £30 million should they stay up. Now, I'm not going to lie. That's bloody brilliant. That's genuinely brilliant business for Chelsea. Broja is nowhere near top 6 quality. He is nowhere near Champions League quality. He is definitely not of the quality Chelsea need to get themselves back to the top. Not on your Nelly. Nowhere near it. So far off it, it's unbelievable. £30 million. Yes, Ipswich have to stay up. If they get relegated, as far as we're aware, Chelsea, there's no obligation to buy. Chelsea get no money. But £30 million, pure profit, I will add, for an absolute bang average player is amazing business. It really is. And if now that 30 million of pure profit, it's not quite there, but it's a good deal, is now invested into somebody like Victor Osimhen, this is turning into a very good window for Chelsea. Now, I heard Carragher and I heard Gary Neville last night say, stop buying players. I disagree. Stop making the squad bigger. But there was a really interesting article I read earlier on today. And the article basically was talking about Stamford Bridge exodus. The likes of Chilwell, Lukaku, Sterling. We obviously know that Gallagher's gone. There's Broja. It speaks about how up to 8 players could be gone in the next week. And when you think about it, Broja's now gone. Lukaku will probably happen. Conor Gallagher's out the door. The others may be a little harder, but they're looking to really remove all these individuals. And if Chelsea are able to remove these players, and on top of that, they're able to they've brought in João Felix. He's doing his medical in and around now. Then add a Victor Osimhen to the mix. I think it's been a successful window. Overall, I think it's been a successful window. Now, there's question marks, and there's always a question mark. But Osimhen, João Felix, Tosin, Dewsbury Hall, Neto. Forget all the kids they've signed. All the kids they've signed, the majority are part of a project to flip them in a few years and make money. People have to stop forgetting about that. People have to start remembering that and not conveniently forgetting it. But if you'd have said to start the window, Chelsea are going to sign 5 main team players this summer, and I might have forgotten one. If I've forgotten one, remind me in the comment section. But if you'd have said those 5 players, I think most people would say that is a very, very, very good summer. On paper, of course, we have no idea how it's going to transcend on the football pitch, how Maresca is going to manage these individuals. So I'm shutting my fan on 1 second. But as a general rule, that looks like really good, solid business. I really, really do. I think it's really, really solid business. Really, really solid business indeed. American Sensation says, appreciate your answer. Not a problem. Mickey also here says, I used to have an issue about your Arsenal focus and what I perceived as an obsession, but I like the way you responded about why I care. And look, this is the thing. It's all about what news is trending. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I look at what's trending. I look at I've got group chats full of our audience, group chats full of our contributors, full of our panels. If everybody's talking about Zubimendi rejecting Liverpool, I'm going to talk about that on a video. If everybody's talking about Arsenal, I'm going to talk about whatever that subject matter is as a general rule. So it just so happens that Arsenal and Man United typically and Chelsea get so much more attention than a lot of the other teams. There's only a certain amount of content I can make a day. Why would I talk about a less popular subject as the main headline when the majority of the audience wants to talk about what's been said? The difference is this. You know, like when people have shat on Arsenal and I've kind of defended them, if I'd have done the same content but also attacked Arsenal, the people that say, oh, it's the Arsenal Terrace, they'd have gone, love you, bro. And the Gooners would have slagged me off. It's just this nature of you can't please all the people all the time. And do you know what it is? Maybe about 5, 6 years ago, maybe a bit longer than that, maybe 7 years ago, I spent too much of my time and too much of my energy on social media slagging off other people's content. Oh, it's chatting rubbish. He's chatting bullshit. He's chatting nonsense. Now, I will still challenge people's opinions on my shows. But if you watch all my fan channel review shows, again, something that was innovative to the Football Terrace, nobody else was doing any shows like that. And most people still don't. But now I just enjoy other people's content. And if someone does do something I think is awful or atrocious, I just don't react to it. I don't talk about it because I sort of feel like, what's everybody's obsession with what I'm doing, what Rance is doing, what Mark's doing, what Big Steve's doing? If you don't like what those individuals do, their titles, their content, their opinions, their personality, just don't watch it. Imagine being a grown man or a grown woman, spending your day hating on people that you dislike, who are doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? It's such a weird. And the irony is, the people that do it are the same people that speak like they're alphas. And I'm like, alphas don't do this. Strong people do not spend time commenting on things they dislike. Not trivial things like what we do. Yes, you'd comment on something that a minister did or a politician did or a doctor did wrong, but not about football opinions. Weird, proper strange. Do you know what? Yeah, I do think some people that don't have better things to do. Other people do, because I see certain like content creators, and over the last like year or two, and I just think, why are you so obsessed with what, like the amount of people that attack Lee Gunner? And I'm like, me and Lee don't agree on all things football, but the last thing I would do is attack his platform, say he shouldn't have one, or even talk about the awful content. It isn't, but I wouldn't do that because some people enjoy it, some people don't. If you don't like it, don't watch it. It seems so strange to get triggered over things that you're not. Generally in society, how are you triggered about something that you're not watching and not involved with, and that you don't like, that isn't hurting anyone? Mad. Anyway, we move on. We move on from that. So, and the other Chelsea story that was really interesting to me was this one. Now, Simon Phillips is very, very credible in the Chelsea space. Very, 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 very credible in the Chelsea space. And he has stated that Chelsea have 100% considered Joe Gomez last summer and 100% considered him again this summer. Whether they actually make a move or not is another thing. Now, of course, it looks like that ginger fellow is going to be leaving. Is it I want to say Sanderberg. That might not be his name, from Liverpool. So the only way I see Joe Gomez leaving as well is an astronomical offer or an additional defender being purchased of some sort. Surely that would be expected. But Joe Gomez to Chelsea. Chelsea fans, talk to me. I feel like he'd be the best defender at your club. Or am I chatting pure breeze? Joe Gomez to Chelsea becomes your best defender. Centre back I'm talking about here. Better than Dazarsi. Better than Colwell. Better than Badiashile. Genuinely, who at Chelsea is a better central defender than him? You might be able to argue tossing. I'm not saying he's top class, but he's better than what Chelsea have got. And Chelsea need to improve their defense as well. I think if they could add another top like defender of Joe Gomez's level or above, that'd be important for them. But that is a real interesting link that Chelsea Football Club have now had 2 summers of seriously considering. And as I say, Simon Phillips is someone that I personally trust. I think he's highly credible, gets a lot of things right, and he's put that out there. Please stop this. You also said Sancho becomes our best attacker, bar Palmer. He does. So I said, on paper, this is. All signings are on paper because you have to see how they perform. But Sancho's better than Jackson overall. He's better than Noni Madueke. He's better than Nkunku. Who else are we talking here? Pedro Neto. I think he's better than. Definitely is more available than. He is. Sancho's. Did you see what Sancho did whilst happy at Dortmund last season? Did you see how good he was? Genuinely, did you see how good he was? I wish he was doing that at Man United, but it just didn't happen for us. He is top class. He really is. He really is. You keep belittling the Chelsea players. That's not belittling Chelsea players. I didn't say they're crap. Where have I said they're rubbish? I just said that I think, barring Palmer, Sancho would be the most talented attacker, like next most talented attacker. I'm not saying anybody else is crap. That's not belittling. I'm praising a player that Chelsea are seriously linked to and stating it'd be a really good signing for Chelsea. How is that belittling Chelsea? It's not. I haven't said the others are rubbish. They're crap. They're dusty. I haven't said any of that. It's not belittling them. You see how your mind's working. Your mind is like hearing Sancho better than Madueke. Why you saying Madueke's rubbish? No one's saying that. Maybe that's because you think Sancho's rubbish. But that's you belittling Sancho, not me belittling Chelsea players. Because you're not delving into my logic and my understanding. You're in your own head. And sometimes when you listen to other people talk, listen to understand and not to respond. And maybe you'll have a different understanding and interpretation of what's being said. That's not obnoxious. I'm not being obnoxious in any capacity whatsoever. I'm really not. What is obnoxious is to, I think what is nasty, what is maybe offensive is to not listen to what somebody's opinion is, twist their words and throw it back in their face. Because I didn't belittle anybody. How has it been obnoxious explaining that I didn't say anybody at Chelsea was crap? Come on, Tom, deep that. So I'm not slagging off any Chelsea players, and I'm praising potential moves to your football club. That got twisted into why are you belittling Chelsea? I've explained why that's not belittling, and now you're saying that's obnoxious. Come on. Better than Nkunku, Terry. I think it's this take will come back to bite you. Well, when I talk about people being better, I look at what Sancho has achieved and what he has done, both in Germany with Dortmund last year, and I look at Nkunku, and I think that Sancho has done more. Nkunku's excellent, by the way. When it comes to Stocks FC, I've invested a sizable amount of my money in him. I think he's excellent. Just because I think Sancho's better doesn't mean I don't think Nkunku's really, 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 really good. I think he's highly talented. He just shouldn't be played on the left wing by your manager. Simple as that for me. But yeah, there we go. Straight fact show with you and Mark Goldbridge. Would you not like to see that? Genuine question. It's probably impossible. Let me just put that out there. But would you like to see it? Would you like to see a straight fact show on the terrace with Mark Goldbridge and me? Genuinely, let me know in the comment section. Because you know what? I'd love to work with Mark. Mark is the GOAT of our football content creator industry. Doesn't matter whether you like him or not, he's the GOAT. No one else can do what he does. No one else has done what he has done in any capacity. But I don't agree with all these football opinions, and I'd love to debate him on some of the stances that he has. So yeah, I'd love to do that. But yeah, if you guys would like to see it, you never know. Maybe we could wish it into happening, like put it out. I don't believe in all that stuff, but like put it out into the universe. You know what I mean? Terry, do you think that Rabiot is a potential deal? Listen, that's a really good shout for Manchester United. I really do like that. Now, send any football questions you've got in, and we'll go through them right now. Rabiot. Do you know Rabiot's one of those interesting players? I feel that he's become so unpopular and unfashionable, but yet he's still a very good football player. And whenever I see him play, I'm always impressed with him. Do I think he's going to come into Man United or go to Arsenal or go to Liverpool and be that component that turns them into a next level world-class team? No, I don't. But it's one of those things where I think that could be a very good squad and very good first team alternative. So I think about Man United. We keep it on Man United for a moment. If and when we get Ugarte, Mainu, Bruno, the main guys. But having Rabiot there from the bench to start some games, again, that is a level up from what we have got technically and physically. So yeah, I would be open. I'd be very, very, very open to that. I'd be very, very open to that indeed. What, speak me and Mark into existence or Rabiot? Listen, there's a number of people that I would like to work with, if I'm being honest. I think Mark Goldbridge is one of them. Who else would I like to do I'd like to do it regularly. I don't like one-off shows. I love like the sort of, I watch like I watch quite a bit of Joe Rogan, and he has amazing guests. But I also like watching podcasts like The Breakfast Club, because you got the same 2 or 3 people that host it with a new guest, and I like the dynamic between the people that know each other, as an example. So I like to do shows that are regular so that a dynamic builds up amongst people. But Tom Garrett's someone I really like. I think he's excellent. I'd like to do one with Don Robbie actually as well. Like, I'm just like putting out a list here. Lawrence McKenna would be someone who'd be really interesting to talk to, because again, over the years, I've disagreed with a lot of his football opinions, and I think that makes for good viewing for the audience as well. I think Stunt Peg is great. I've seen her on Sky and a few other podcasts, and yeah, I think she's excellent. There's a few people I'd like to work with. A few people. Yeah, expressions. So I'd like to work with expressions, but I don't know if I could concentrate, because that man makes me laugh so much. Yeah, Curtis Shaw would be great to work. I worked with him many times before, but yeah, really, really good guy. Mark admitted that he watches you too. He's a fan. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Like, do you know what? Like, knowing that about, again, someone that everyone knows me and Mark in the past had some run-ins, but I respect what he has done profusely. The same as I respect what Robbie has done. I respect what, I know there was a lot of controversy around him, but from a business standpoint, I respect what True Geordie has done. I understand why he got a lot of stick for the horrendous joke that he made. But in terms of the platform that he's built and the level that he's gone to, from a professional standpoint, it's like, wow, look at these individuals have achieved. You know, and I'm very proud of what the Football Terrace is, but I'm also not arrogant enough to not look at these individuals and like be bitter about it. And I think that's what goes wrong in our little industry, is there's too many up and coming YouTubers who see the bigger accounts, and it becomes like a bitter war. I'm going to steal their ideas. I'm going to try and steal their panelists. I'm going to slag this person off. I'm going to do. It's crazy. You actually stunt everybody's growth doing that. Can I handle Simon Jordan? I could handle Simon Jordan in a debate. Not a problem at all. And doing it on TalkSport's easy, because in TalkSport, it's only really 5 to 10 minute segments at a time, and then they have like a 5-minute break for adverts. Hosting and being on TalkSport is so much more simplistic than doing YouTube, which can sometimes be an hour, 2 hours, non-stop live. No breaks, no time to catch your breath. You've got to do everything on the spot. Yes, of course, 100%. And I agree with a lot of things Simon says. I disagree with a lot, but yeah, I could handle Simon. I wouldn't be intimidated working with anybody, talking to anybody, debating anybody. The thing is, I wouldn't debate people on subjects that I had zero knowledge about, zero information about. I would just listen and absorb and say, okay, great, thank you for telling me. Does that make sense? I'm not one of there are a lot of human beings out there nowadays who know nothing about a subject, barring a 2-minute clip they watched of Jordan Peterson speaking, and suddenly they think they're a clinical psychologist. I don't really roll like that, if I'm being honest with you. There we go. 2 up front says, big up, Terry. You're also one of the GOATs. What advice would you give to a new channel entering the football YouTube world? My advice is this: don't copy what's already out there. It's done. Genuinely, it's done. Have a niche. Think of something new and innovative. Don't just go, I'm going to have my own top 6 show. I'm going to do my own straight fact shows, and I'm going to do my own fan channel reactions and slightly change the names. And that's not a dig. It's that it isn't just me doing that. There are hundreds of accounts already doing it. So when you start new, if you don't stand out, and unless you are like Expressions and your comedy is amazing, or I don't know, you can sing and you start singing in your videos and it blends in well and it's entertaining. But ironically, that is a niche, is what I mean. Unless you've got something that makes you stand out, it's very unlikely that you're going to grow, because It's not like 7-8 years ago where there's 3 or 4 channels. There are now hundreds of people. So you need to think of things that are different that make you stand out. The Spurs fan George, I always get his surname wrong. I want to say George Achilles. It isn't Achilles. I forget his surname, and I do apologize. He's done some really great and innovative stuff on his channel, and it blows. And I'm like, yes, somebody's doing something different. And that is what I think it's about, is not just going, right, I love what Mark Goldbridge does, so I'm going to copy what he does. I love what AFTV do, so I'm going to do exactly what AFTV do. I think you've got to have some things. And the Football Terrace has got a lot of things in the pipeline. I can't talk about them yet. I've got to wait for the ink to dry on something. But for the last 2 years, I've been very, very frustrated. The last 2 years, I've been pent up with anger about what's happened to the Football Terrace. Not something I have done or anyone who directly works here, but we've had so many opportunities to create new and innovative and different content, and we've been held back. And I've fought tirelessly, you know, almost damaging myself physically and mentally to get to where we are now. And I'm very excited about the next chapter. 110%. 110%. I'm very, very excited about that. So my advice is be innovative, be different. Don't just copy what's already out there. And if you are going to do the same thing, don't make it a carbon copy. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're a fan of Straight Facts. Don't try and do your own Straight Facts shows with the same people I've got. It's not because I'm going, oh, I'm scared you'll catch my channel. I'm not worried about that. My community is my community. It grows. I'm not worried about what we're doing. You dilute it. You dilute your own content because it's just a repeat of what is already out there. If you're going to do it, find brand new people that are not big on the Football Terrace, not big on AFTV, not big on SDS, not big on DR Sports, not big on Never a Foul. Find people that nobody else has. It takes time and effort. And that's the problem for a lot of people that don't want to put the time and the effort in. Okay, this person was good when they phoned in. This person was great. And that's what we do. We do the phone-in shows regularly so that we can, Dio's great. Don's great. Add them to the mix. We get them on. But then what I see a lot of people do is, I'm just going to get those people on. You'll grow, you'll do well, but never at the same rate as if you're original and it feels fresh. It's so important, genuinely, so important to do that. So, Terry, is your growth commercially driven? No. So I don't target growth per se. We target doing the content we want to make. That's like first and foremost, what do we want to make? What do we want to be? What do we like doing? And then we go from there. But there is a commercial element to what I do. And I'm very happy to share one of my dreams. And I shared this with KJ a few years ago. And that is that in an ideal world, all the people that have really helped me grow the Football Terrace, I would love the financial and commercial capability to employ them all at some point, to give back to them, to be able to give them a job. You know, in some cases, maybe better what they're doing. Pay them a good, honest wage, and then they can make content and do the things they really want to do. That would be my dream. If I could get to where I want to be able to employ 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 people that have helped me. And that's who I would always go to first. The people that have been loyal to me are the first people I turn to if and when I've got employment opportunities. So that for me is my underlying, my deepest motivation is to really give back. My life has been changed because of you all and the people that come on my shows, and I'll be eternally grateful. But my real drive now is to grow so I can give back to these individuals. That's the real biggest thing for me, is to really give back. And yes, Cedric, you've been here a while, so you remember me saying that. And that's my pain the last few years. That's been curtailed on a number of occasions. But we've got some amazing things in the pipeline that should start to change that. And, you know, we employ people now. Some of it's contractual, some of it's full-time. And I'm proud of that. I'm genuinely proud of that. And yeah, that's where the motivation comes from, really and truly. Terry, do you think Arsenal need to buy a cover for Saka linked with Coman and Sane recently? You either need to buy cover or you need to bring somebody in to challenge him. It needs to be one or the other. So you need to get someone better than Reece Nelson. And we were talking about this the other day. Someone mentioned Noni Madueke, and I thought, yeah, that's someone who could come on from the bench with 20 minutes to go and genuinely change a game on a regular basis. Got to improve his output, though. Coleman does that. If he stays fit, he could challenge Saka for his first team position. Although the form Saka showed the other day, no. But you almost need someone who's a good enough replacement, but isn't going to get angry about not starting every week, or it needs to be someone that's genuinely good enough to keep him out the first team. One of those two things. One of those two things. One of those two things. Do not sign to a network. No, that's not happening. That is not happening. And once the ink is dry, everything's signed. I've just got to wait for a few things to clear, and then we will be talking about this in greater detail. Your 5 Premier League transfer predictions within the top 6. Oh, do you know what? I haven't even thought about this, Micah. Transfer predictions. Man United will sign one more player after Ugarte. I believe that. Arsenal to sign Victor Gyokeres. These are just predictions based on what we're reading. I think Liverpool are going to pull a big signing out. I don't know who. I think Liverpool are going to pull a big signing out, though. Boom. I think they're going to pull a big signing out. Is that 3? That's 3. Chelsea are going to sign 127 more players. It's a joke. Do you want to hear a prediction? Chelsea don't get Osimhen. All the reports say they will. There's a little voice in the back of my head. You know when you go out and you think you've left the oven on or the iron on, and often you've forgotten, you can't get that thought out of your head, you forgot something all day. I've got that back of my head about Osimhen. For Chelsea's sake, I hope you sign him. Number 5, Tottenham sign nobody else is what I'm going to go with. Marcy here, so I have a feeling United will win the Premier. No. We won't. We won't. We don't have the squad depth or manager at this particular juncture to do that. Our manager, he could get better and better and better, but I don't think we've got a good enough manager with this squad to beat Liverpool, Arsenal, and City to the league title. Does that make sense? Say it was just Arsenal that were good and Pep were average. Pep was gone and City were average for a top team. Then maybe there's a chance. But the standards that are set by Pep, we're not ready for that yet. I would love to be wrong. And I hope and pray you're right. I want to win the league massively. But I don't think we're there yet. And listen, it's a feeling. And this is the time of the season when you're allowed to dream. This is the time of the season where you're allowed to get your hopes up. Genuinely. And I hope, above all other things, that you are bang on, mate. I hope that you are so right. I hope that you are so correct. I hope that everything you're thinking and feeling comes true, because I'd love to win the league, especially this year. Imagine winning it before Arteta and Arsenal, stopping the 5p. Imagine ending that 11 years of hurt in terms of the Premier League. Imagine the turnaround for Ten Hag. I mean, people like me would be in the mud that said he should go. But equally, what about all the people that said that it's only ever a new manager we need, and it isn't about... Imagine what that would do for Ineos, and shows how a well-run club can operate and go to another level. But I don't see it happening, my friend. The Arsenal team reminds me of Poch's Spurs. I think they're better than that. Now, they've got to add trophies to it to prove people like me right, but I think they're better than Tottenham. Arsenal have got mental blocks, there's no doubt, but nowhere near Tottenham's. I think they're a better side. I think they're a better side, in my opinion. Terry, I told you Chelsea would not get Osimhen. He's ending up at PSG or Arsenal last minute buy. Osimhen will not play Conference League. Joe, that'd be a massive buy for Arsenal. Can you imagine? Imagine Arsenal pulling that off. So I'm just making timestamps here for some of these comments because I like some of these. It's going to be a good chat. Can you imagine Arsenal signing Osimhen? Oh, I think he's a player. Dyke says, big up Terry, bro. How have you been keeping mentally? Do you know what? I've been really good. And so I will speak about it a little bit, and I'm going to go into more detail on another show, but I've been going through the process of, everybody knows that I partnered with Snack Media about 3 years ago. Been going through a long process to buy them back out so that the Football Terrace becomes on paper independent again. And still great times with people at Snack. They've helped the Football Terrace. But it was something that I had to do because of our opportunities that we've got. The day that deal was done, my mental and physical health changed like this. So yeah, I'm so much better. I'm in the process now of getting myself physically fitter, cycling, going back to the gym and everything else. But yeah, my mental health's in a really good space, like a really, really good space. Part of that as well is interesting things like getting, I'm actually not wearing it right now, but getting my is it called an iWatch? Whatever it's called. Apple Watch. iWatch. Apple Watch has been great for me. My dog has been amazing. Walking my dog has been such a mindset for me. But drinking more water and sleep. On average, and it's weird, like, since I had the watch, I've been like timing this stuff. On average, in the last 9 months, I've been getting 2.5 to 3 hours more sleep a night. And that has genuinely changed a lot of things physically for me. I was just not getting enough sleep. I was surviving on like 3 or 4 hours a night sometimes. I survived on about 3.5 to 4 hours sleep a night on average for about 6 years. It's crazy. It was killing me. So yeah, I'm much better, my friend. Thank you. God bless you always, Terry. Your hard work is showing. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can see 4 or 5 top centre backs getting transferred in the last few days of the window with how it's. Listen, you could see Gahey. He could go to Newcastle. There's talk of Liverpool. By the way, the Joe Gomes thing. So there's talk that Liverpool like Mark Gahey. If Liverpool would have signed Mark Gahey, maybe that opens up a door for Chelsea to go and sign Joe Gomes. It's interesting. Will here, one of our members, says, I get a feeling City fans are overhyping the Gundo return. Quality player, yeah, but you need more, and he's getting old now. Well, it's been reported today that Oscar Bob is going to be back a lot quicker than first expected. Savinho looks excellent, and I think Gundogan's still got legs. Longer term, they need more, but I do think I feel like short term, they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay. I really, really do. I really, really do. Terry, the next time Judge Mo says United don't have Paul, ask him how we took his goalkeeper with ease after his team got. Remember, Osimhen is unwilling to take a 50% off his salary. That's another way of saying I don't want to come. Oh, is there an Ornstein bomber? Is there an Ornstein bomber here? Oh, Anderson, is he gone to Fulham? Wow. They're getting ripped apart in the is that done? Yeah, it is. 2 minutes ago, that was announced. That is over the line. Fulham have agreed a deal with Crystal Palace for Anderson, 30 million plus add-ons. They're really going for it. They are really, really going for it. It's a big deal. That is a big deal. 30 mil. Jeez. Jesus. That is a big deal. I've had a lot of starred comments here. Let's have a little look and see if I've missed any. If I missed any of these. No. True Blue says, and Nkunku on one leg is clearer of Sancho. Nah, come on now. You'll pay to watch me and Mark. No, I don't think we'd ever do YouTube stuff behind a paywall. Maybe. I don't know. It depends. I think it depends. I think if you're going to do stuff behind a paywall, it's got to be of a level that you're not getting for free. And the problem is that's just so hard to do. So, no, I don't think that would ever happen. Ironically, though, it is expensive to make content now. Genuinely it is. And do you know who ruin it? It's like big brands. Big brands are So I've got a friend who got paid £3,000 by a brand during the Euros to do like 2 1-minute videos for their TikTok. Right? And then we spoke to them about coming on. They were like, do you think you could pay me? And we said, yeah, we'll give you the normal rate, which is pretty decent. And they're like, well, I want what I got paid by this company. And I just laughed. I went, that's $1 billion. It's a £1 billion company. And you want the same payment from me. And I always laugh at those things because it's you're not worth it. Like, I'll pay anybody any fee they want to come on the terrace. But you've got, if you want to be paid, but you've got to be able to bring an audience in that warrants that fee. Does that make sense? If you're not going to make me a return, what's the point of me paying you? I might as well stream by myself. It's the truth. I might as well stream by myself. Like, I don't mind paying people, but you've got to be worth the money. Terry, isn't it a pain not seeing any of your players in the PFA awards? No. I mean, you've all heard me say this 100 times on the terrace. Individual player awards, I'll say well done to people that get them, but I don't think they determine the quality of a player. And I'm not surprised after how poor we were last season. I really ain't. Let's have a little look here. How much dollars can we get for Enzo? I mean, you could probably still pick up 40 or 50 million pound for him right now. Terry's about the TFT's about to do pay-per-view. No, we're not. We're not. Let's have a little look here. Thank you very much to AMG Guna for bigging up the football terrace. That means a great deal to me. We've done all these other ones here, so thank you very much. Just unstarring these as of right now. I don't want to miss anybody's. Who do I think should have won the PFA award? Who actually won it? Who won the PFA Player of the Year? I don't know. I've seen the team award, but who's won the player award? Let me know, and I'll give you an answer. Let me know. If Chelsea get rid of Lukaku and Sterling, it will free up 650,000 a week in salaries. They could sign and pay Osimhen. This is very true. They'll have more than enough money to pay him then. They'll have more than enough money to pay him. You're absolutely right. So, and salaries are a real big thing. Foden won it. Yeah. Hang on. Foden robbed it. No, Foden, I get why Foden got it. I don't think that's a bad shout. I don't think it's a bad, he's up there. And the one thing I would say is voted for by the players. But then I've heard some mad stories about the way the players do their voting and why they do it. So I never take it that seriously personally, but that's just me and how I view it and how I go about it. But there we go. It's a disgrace Cole Palmer didn't get the PFA Senior Award, and disgusting to not put him in the Team of the Year after being voted the Young Player of the Year. Yeah, I thought he might have made the Team of the Year. I really do. But you look at the players that were in it, and they're not undeserving, in my humble opinion, Tom. They're not undeserving. But I think, yeah, it wouldn't have been crazy. Arsenal need to sign Gyokeres. Yeah, I think they do need that. And it's not about scoring extra goals per se. It's about those games. Oh, it's 1-1. Going into the last 10 minutes. He'll do it. Those big Champions League nights. I think he can do it. I think they're really key. I think they're really, really important. I do. I really, really do. How do you get on the terrace? I was going to open up the phone lines tonight, but I've been looking at your comments and I just forgot to share it. But we do match reactions, and we're going to start doing some more. Over the next few weeks, we're going to start doing a few more of these live shows. We're going to start doing call-ins and things like that. You can reach out to KJ. You can drop us an email as well if you want to come on and you want to start getting involved. We can do that. But we've got loads of stuff in the pipeline. Plus, there's the other channel, The Squad. I know nothing's gone on there for a few months, and you'll understand why soon. Got some big stuff coming there as well. Got loads of things in the pipeline that we want to do. Some stuff that we were doing before, like Friday night on the terrace, a variation of that. And there's some other things that are just in the pipeline, but I can't reveal too much. And it's all going to start making sense over the next 3 to 4 weeks. I promise you that. Look, I want to thank each and every single person who has tuned in to the show this evening. It always means a great deal to me. Please hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Get that done now. Please make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. We're going to be back in the morning with some content for you, plus straight facts tomorrow with Hussam and Man Like Mo, which I'm always excited about doing. But let's get them likes up past 1,000, please, people. That'd be really, really great if we can get that done. Until next time, Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And now joining anything is actually here we go. Yeah, there's a here we go. Bro has been done. We've told you that. We spoke about it. I don't know what you mean. Listen, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very I can't find what I'm looking for. Very, very soon. Bye-bye.